Yo, what's up guys? Obviously this is a different kind of video today than I normally do. Sitting outside, about to have my lunch, and it got me thinking. Well, first of all, I should tell you guys, if you're new here, my name is John, and I'm an American that's been living here in China for like 20 years now. And as you can see, I'm here now, obviously. This is just near my home. But I'm sitting here having lunch, and it got me thinking, like, this lunch that I'm about to eat costs less than what you guys probably pay for coffee where you are. Like this cost me $3, man. Like I'm like sitting here with this Mexican cheeseburger and some fries and a drink. Like literally $3 for this meal. And I know you guys probably spending $5, $7, $10 on a coffee at Starbucks or some shit like that. And it got me thinking that how financial freedom is really just a math problem. And well, not just a math problem, but it's also a lifestyle problem. You know, for me, living here in China, I typically spend about $1,000 per month, maybe $1,200 per month sometimes. And you know, I have kids that I send money to and stuff like that. I don't have child support. My kids are growing up, but sometimes they ask me for money. Anyway, that's besides the point. You know, I have kids I send money to. I still spend $1,000, $1,200 a month. I live a good life, eat what I want to eat, do what I want to do, buy what I want to buy with no worries whatsoever. And I'm not making a lot of money. I mean, like, my portfolio generate about $1,000 a month. I have other sources of income too, but if I didn't, I could live off the $1,000 a month my portfolio generates easily. And not just China, but you can do it in Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia. So many places you can do it. And it doesn't require a lot of money. You don't have to be a millionaire to be able to live this lifestyle. But a lot of the things that people are struggling with is the math part of this equation. You know, what that looks like for me as an expat is paying $200 per month for rent. I've made videos and shared my apartment here. It's really nice. Spend less than $100 a month on utilities. I spend $3 for meals like this one. I cook at home for $1. Like, everything here is so cheap, it's so convenient that the math works. That's good. When you're living in America and you're making $4,000, $5,000 a month, and you're paying what, $2,000 for rent, $1,000 for your food or something like that, and then you have kids or any of this other stuff, man, on top of that, the transportation sucks, so you got to buy a car. You probably have a car payment, you probably have car insurance. I mean, all this stuff that you got to pay for, the math doesn't work in your favor. And then, which brings me to the other point about it being a lifestyle problem. Most people, including myself back, many years ago, I was living, well, I had a lifestyle problem, let's put it that way. I was buying too much bullshit, spending money on customized cars and shopping, buying lots of shoes and buying this and that. And it's like, just like want. Consume, buy. That's good. And because of that, because of my lifestyle, because of my spending habits, the math didn't work. I was always broke. Always paycheck to paycheck. Never having any money to invest because of that. Or you do all that spending and invest what's left, the $5 or $10 that's left or whatever, you know, and you're not putting away a substantial amount towards your freedom or towards your future. And it's because of the math, because of the lifestyle. All those things make a huge difference. You know, when I moved abroad, when I moved here to China, I've told this story many times. I moved here when I was in my 20s. I had 1,000 US dollars to my name. Like, I literally had $1,000 in my pocket. And I had, hello. And I had one suitcase. Like, that was it. $1,000 and one suitcase, nothing else. I started from the bottom. And after years of living here and waking up to the different opportunities and realizing that I had a lifestyle problem, then I looked closely at the math and figured out the math behind it. And then I figured out how to create financial freedom for myself. So I'm not telling you that you have to move to China or you have to be a dividend nomad like me and move abroad. But the first thing that we should probably do in creating financial freedom is look at the lifestyle part of the problem first. Like, how much money am I spending on a bunch of useless stuff that I don't really need? Or how much money am I overspending? Like, yeah, you got a job, so you probably need a car to get to work, but do you need a $50,000 Ford pickup truck with a $1,000 a month car payment? Or can you get to that same job with the 2005 Toyota Corolla for $2,000? Right? Like, the $2,000 car does the exact same thing as the $50,000 car. It gets you to work. You park it, leave it in the parking lot while you do your job all day. You don't need the $50,000 car, man. That's $50,000. There's $1,000 a month or how much your car payment is. You can be investing towards creating that freedom for yourself. And this is a lifestyle trap most of us fall into. So anyway, I don't want to sound like I'm preaching to you guys, but really it's just something that's popped in my mind that I wanted to share with y'all about the math and the financial problem or the lifestyle problem that makes the math not work. Because you don't have to live abroad to be free, man. I did. It's what worked for me, and I love it. But there's other ways to go about it. So anyway, I'm not going to bug you and talk your guys' head off, but if you want to know more about this lifestyle and all that stuff, I got some links below you should check out. I think you'll enjoy them. And so check that stuff out, and I'll see you guys on the next video. All right? Y'all take care.